Welcome to Hell, the podcast where you send us your tales of sin and we offer our infernal judgment. Join us each week as we celebrate the salacious, bask in the bitchy, and enjoy a good old-fashioned gossip. So you tripped and got fed through a wood chipper.
Who hasn't? You look lovely.
Don't you just? So brush off what's left of that skin and step through the fiery gates. There you will find me, Daniel Fox, comedian, retired twink and Hell's resident receptionist.
And me, Dane Buckley, comedian, black belt in contemporary dance, and rogue angel.
Darling.
Hi, darling.
Very exciting episode this week. It is our first guest episode.
That's official
of the
guest.
podcast. I think I hear a new soul plummeting down the chute as we speak.
We've got a guest, haven't we?
We do. Once a month, we're inviting a celebrated sinner to join us in the boudoir, and we are starting with a very fabulous one. Why don't you tell us about them?
Our very first guest is one of the nation's most cherished comedians, presenters and dapper dressers. Hot on the heels from the release of his gorgeous autobiography, Too Much. He's currently touring the UK with his show Completely and will be on all over our screens and airwaves as the host of The Apprentice, You're Fired, as well as his very own Virgin Radio comedy show. Smarten yourselves up, sit up straight, get the good china out, and welcome to Hell, M&S's very own Sir Tom Allen.
Hi, Tom.
Well,
Hey.
what a lovely welcome.
Welcome to Hell.
And can I just say, as a podcast, this is too much. This, you two, me. How many candelabras have we got in here?
For anyone joining us just on audio, you can find us on YouTube, where you will see 2 pewter candelabras, about 9 red and yellow. Like it's a real boudoir vibe going on.
Yeah.
It is everything you imagine it is.
A couple
actually.
of lads.
Just a few lads hanging out.
We laugh so much because before us is a football podcast in the studio. We're in
I think it's even rugby, isn't it? We can't even tell
there is a
the
huge.
Can't tell the
There's
difference,
football
can
for
you?
us, and the one before that is the biggest rugby man you've ever seen.
gorgeous
I
creatures.
When we first arrived,
What time is that one?
when we first got here to be shown around, the two of us were like, "Oh, and then we could put our candelabras there." And then this man with a hand the size of like my face
We lost an arm.
came over to shake our hands, and we both went, "Hi."
Oh, it's lovely to... I haven't washed my hands since.
Oh, I can tell, actually. Well, that's nice. You've been making yourself friendly with
So it's available.
available.
Tom,
Yes.
down here in Hell, we like to start each episode with a little drink.
Oh, good.
Will you be partaking?
I do like a welcome drink
Okay, good.
anywhere I go.
We take it in turns to make them. I like a very bitter, very adult, very sophisticated drink.
His
Dane-
tastes like perfume.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
acrid. Dane likes a sweet one. It's Dane's turn.
You see, I like a sort of Campari-based cocktail, which a lot of the time I think
Well,
Campari
you
does taste
will
like
hate
Elnet
this.
being sprayed in your mouth.
Or I always say this, in a film, when someone poisons a drink,
Yes.
that's what a Campari and soda tastes like.
Yes, that's so true,
and I love
isn't
that.
it? A
Kate Blanchett
bitter
drink.
elixir. Yeah,
Well, that's not what this is here today. This is like Haribo liquid form.
Yes, I
Okay.
feel like I've gone to a
Want to-
trashy nightclub in Croydon,
Yes?
Yeah, basically. Oh my God, yes.
which is
There you
also a
go.
form of hell.
Here is one of your very
Cup for you.
masculine beaker.
Now,
Chilled. All right,
I
can feel
called
them.
this... Well, have a taste first.
Yeah, see if you can...
I've heard that before. Five Alive?
Yes!
That's not got any alcohol in
Kiora.
it. Yeah, basically.
It doesn't
So-
taste...
Capri Sun?
This has...
Yes. Sunny Delight.
These 3 have a pint of alcohol.
Oh,
Isn't that crazy?
That is
Are
a
you,
little...
you're not driving tonight?
No, I do have an appointment with my therapist at 8 o'clock tonight.
Well, there will be
But,
tears.
There will be.
So-
Nothing she's not used to seeing.
But you will feel this creep up on you. You absolutely will.
There's
That's
a
what it-
warmth, like a faint...
Well, there's cough syrup in there as well.
Oh,
It's orange juice.
Is there really?
No, there's
Oh,
no.
I'm thinking, I've got a little tickle.
This is a mead mosa.
Oh, please.
She is mead, Irish mead. She is Cointreau. She is orange juice.
And Deborah Meaden.
But she is
Yeah.
very strong. But she's dangerous because you don't feel it.
It literally just
That's-
tastes like orange
Yeah.
juice.
That's why I can't have sweet cocktails, actually.
Right.
I have to have quite bitter ones, maybe a martini
Right, yeah, right.
or a
Because you're going to be
Negroni.
dancing on the table. then, aren't you?
Because I'll just down that and I'll go, oh, that's fine, I'll have another one. And then I'll think, why am I asleep on this bench?
It genuinely doesn't taste...
You saw the alcohol I put in though.
I
Like,
did, you had a full... There's like the very faintest
I can
warm
no. Can you
feeling.
not?
What is the alcohol in the Cointreau?
Cointreau and mead.
Oh, and the mead,
Mead is-
I think, is very strong, isn't
It's
it?
28%.
Wow,
There's
those
a-
monks knew what they were doing.
There's a
That's why
pint.
they had those haircuts. They were drunk.
Tomorrow you wake up and you just have that side there.
Is it a spiced mead?
No, we went through this before. How dare you? It's Irish mead. Ireland, the only spice we had was parsley.
Okay.
I say parsnip.
Parsley. Parsnip as well.
Parsnip
Oh,
spice.
those parsnips are very,
It's all spicy. Very spicy.
Basically, I was like, I have some mead. I have some Cointreau. What can I make? Typed it into Google. Then she delivered with a mead mosa.
A mead mosa.
I loved that the only alcohol I had in my cabinet was mead. I'm like, wow, it's got the essentials, really.
It does sound like you've run out of the other ones.
Yeah. Just hopping from solstice to solstice with you. Tom,
Yes.
how do you think you died?
Well, I've often thought about this, and I've often imagined it might involve being murdered. But today, just an assumption, I suppose, really,
Yeah.
from talking too much. But then today, I got to thinking, actually, it's probably from listening to... It's probably listening to something like a musical too loudly, maybe Les Mis, gauges, as I like to call it. Listening to gauges in my ears too loudly, not paying attention as I'm crossing the road. I'm a maverick road crosser, I've said it before, and I'll step out in front of a bus. And I think the irony of me, the only time I'm caught on public transport is when I'm under a double-decker bus.
Being ploughed under it.
Yeah, probably, yeah, and the driver wouldn't even
19.
realise.
No.
Yeah.
She'd be like, oh, watch out.
Yeah, what's that? One bump in the road? Those potholes are
It'll
terrible.
be just like those Fabulous Hatchery. It'll just be like the witch in the house and all. They'll just see the hat.
Oh, the hat just... Oh, yes, thrown onto
and
the
the shoes, the
pavement.
dapper shoes, they'll be like-
Yes, that's all that'll
That's
be
where
left.
she died.
That's the... Wait, and they'll stop, and that's all that'll be left under the bus is my leg sticking out. Yes,
Then
and my
people will come
shoes.
out and sing a little tune about.
Oh, I hope so, yes.
It will be
they'll
at least
cut up-
it's one of those eco-friendly buses. That's
Yeah,
what they'll
Like,
say.
hopefully.
oh, and yes, I'll be furious.
Yeah.
saving
He
the
died
planet.
as he lived, carbon neutral.
So
What that
Is
means.
that no, I'd love to have lived carbon neutral. Of course, carbon to carbon, dust to dust. Are we? Is that okay to say that?
Yeah.
It's not too bleak, is it? It's
No,
not too
that's what we're going
mean.
for.
I was trying to do something different to what I might have otherwise.
I think
you do give us a therapeutic truth.
No, yeah, don't.
It's like
yeah.
the slow death of regret and
you-
a stroke.
But you know what? I did have a dream the other day that I was dead. Maybe I was preempting.
Oh, this
an
could go
honest-
viral. Go on.
Well, I had a dream that I was dead, but I was conscious. And so I was just saying to people, like, I'm dead, but I need to get everything organised. I was trying to work out, maybe getting rid of certain things or...
Trying to arrange a classy wig.
yeah,
Not
just
the
get-
Broadway production of Les Mis.
I have. Who doesn't have a box under their bed labelled, if I'm dead, throw this in the fucking sea?
Don't ask any questions.
Don't ask any questions. Don't shake it. Just throw it in the sea.
Don't shake it.
What's that springing sound?
Why is it playing a tune?
It's a long way to...
I love that gay version of that. So for the look of the thing,
yes.
and to keep our funding, we have to mention torture.
Okay.
To you, what do you think is your personal hell?
I think it's being stuck in a room with two homosexual
queens.
comedians who are funnier than I am. I think that's probably that's the night for
Funnier
all
looking.
eternity. That's the.
Well, you won't have that problem here.
Hell is other people. No, I think it might be. It's either that or it's being on a beautiful place and then someone turning up and playing their own music. For example, a beach I think is so beautiful, and I get so annoyed when people decide to play their tunes with their little portable speaker that they've charged up at home with a USB, and they bring it down to the beach because they think we all want to listen to their Ibiza dance anthems, and I don't want to listen to that. I want to listen to the lovely sound of the waves. That's why I listen to that on a playlist I have on my phone to help me to sleep. Sorry,
I
my chest
was on a
feeling tight
beach
then.
just mere months ago, thank you. And there was some couple doing exactly that, and my boyfriend went, oh, they're playing Cicada. I think he meant Cascada.
Oh,
But I love that.
I thought you meant Tosca.
Oh,
Oh, wow,
That
this
would
is
have been
telling.
fine. But I wasn't. I was trying to place where you were on the beach. What sort of beach you were on?
5-star beach.
5-star.
I thought you were going to say for your hell was like going to a cheese party where there's no carbohydrate. Do you remember that?
I love carbohydrates so much, but we did go to a lovely hotel. Dane and I were on.
Yeah, let's just acknowledge here that Dane has supported Tom on tour. Presumably, I wasn't available at that moment.
Tom likes very funny comedians.
Yes,
So
they
Stop
weren't
it.
available.
I
and
don't think-
so. Of course, he thought, "I'll
Dan,
give
I
the
don't
little
think-
people a chance."
I don't think. I don't know if you were around. I'm sure you would have been.
He'd retired by then, I think.
Yes, I don't know if he would have been around.
The lighting safety issue with...
Well, I feel terrible because Dan and I once did a show back-to-back in Brighton, and I said, and Dan was walking off to the station, and I said, well, I've actually treated myself to a cab, why don't you jump in? And it was the most bonkers cab ride, and it looked like I was trying to murder Dan, as though I'd gone like, you're a gay comedian, maybe I need to get in the car, come on, drive.
I've never felt more car sick.
It was so awful, and I was just like the whole time I was like, oh God, I thought like 'cause I'd only met you I think once or twice before, then I was like, I thought I was doing a nice thing,
We
like
were
making a journey back
well,
to London
it was lovely
easier.
it was so lovely being in like a lovely car rather than
It would
a
have
train.
been so much easier to get the train. Both of us should have got the train.
ma-
He was going in this like this bonkers direction,
And was furious that I was joining.
and I was like, maybe Dan could get out. I don't know, maybe.
I was
could we
just like,
stop
just
it?
drop me off at Tom's house. I'll get a taxi from there. And he was like, well, I just don't know how that's going to
I don't know, and he was like, oh, I can't. I don't know where this. Oh, this road's closed. But we were in a lovely place in Wales, and the people who owned the hotel wanted to throw us a cheese and wine party. Which was literally that. No bread, getting out lots of red wine.
So we allocated Tom to be like, could you put in a word about Britain? Thomas could be like, that's a lovely cheese. Pear's lovely with the cracker. Do you remember you tried?
Well, I wonder if you've got any. And the more drunk the host was getting, who'd like kept his whole family up
Yeah.
to sort of like talk to us. And they weren't, I don't know if they were that bothered. And he was like, yes, another bottle of red. Okay.
One of those good old-fashioned gout parties.
Yeah, it really was. Absolutely. Like, actually, yeah, my cholesterol has been a bit high since then. So, that up, really.
Okay, I think it's time we got down to business, and that is where we find out why you are here.
Okay.
Why do you think the devil's got you on her list? What are your worst qualities?
Now, I'm quite self-aggrandizing.
Okay.
I'm quite proud.
Yes.
I can be quite. Yeah, I think I'm horrible. Is why. And I'm trying to think of specific examples now, but I have been known to sometimes. I'm sorry, I'm trying to
Not
think of
serve a
examples.
fish course.
My therapist, because I am exactly this as well, and she says a lot of gay men have a thing, and where their sort of reaction to anything where they feel like power being taken from them is to become superior.
Yes.
Which I think is fabulous.
My God, that's been my whole life.
I become very sneery, very eye-rolly, and very like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's
for
so
God's
true of
sake.
you. But Tom,
I don't think you're not like that though. Why are you doing?
no, I'm warm. I had two. No, but you're quite people pleasing. You're quite sweet and nice. And like,
we're diagnosing, you know.
I'm a people pleaser. I would say. It's just like
you make sure
something
you have
goes
the Irish
wrong-
mother quality of making sure everyone's okay in the room.
Oh, thank you for that. I suppose I do try and make sure everyone's got a bit of.
I'm trying to get
cheese
more
and a
slots
cracker.
for your next tour,
Oh,
Tom.
thank you. Oh, it's very nice. It's why down. But I think
Like you're very superior, very sneering
very
quality.
superior. Well, I did have an experience where it's things like the airport.
Yeah.
Where I was going to do a tour show in Aberdeen, and I know I should have got the train there. I'm sorry, I'm not carbon neutral, but I thought it'll be easier, it'll be more reliable to get the plane there, because if one is cancelled, there'll be another one.
And also about 1/5 of the price.
Well, there is that as well. I mean, dare I say. And, you know, I was trying to maintain a certain status within British Airways. Anyway, the executive club member. So, anyway, I didn't make the grade I wanted to make anyway, so that's fine. But there was a huge queue to go through security at Terminal 5 at Heathrow. Massive, like, out to the door. And I was like, well, I'm not going to make my flight at this rate. And then these people just casually walked along the line going like, yeah, this is closed now. You've all got to go and use the other end. And I was like, we'd already waited there for like half an hour or something. And so then, like, 200 people then start having to run in that totally, like, mad way through an airport, getting to the other gate, which is the other one that's open.
Did you run?
Well, I did that sort of like straight-legged walk.
Yes.
It's quite fast. And I was
Which is faster than any straight person's sprint.
no, absolutely. I could be in the Olympics. And then we got through, and then there were these people just standing around with their lanyards on. And I said, what are you doing there? People are very stressed here. What on earth is going on? And these people like looked at me and they were like, oh, sorry. I was like, well, it's not good enough to do that. There's lots of people very stressed
I
out.
love you.
And
You
then,
need someone like that in those
See, that's
situations.
the motherly energy.
But then the thing was, one of them recognised me, and then I had to switch, and then I had to go. Well, thank you very much. And then the one who was the leader of the group, I would say, was like, I don't recognise you, but she says you're on the television. I was like, thank you. And she's like, well, smile. You may as well smile. And I was like,
May as well
I was
smile.
like, you people are terrible. You treat us like animals.
Have you ever searched yourself on those things where air hosts air stewards
Oh.
talk about famous people.
Oh, no, I
There's like a forum where and you can search for different celebrities' names.
Oh my god.
And it like has it, and it tells you which ones are nightmares and which ones are lovely.
Oh my
be doing
god.
that tonight. We'll all be doing that over you tonight.
What's the name of that website?
I'm planning on bribing.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
read someone on one of some internet forum where they were like, every time I get on a plane, even if I'm like in
diamond.
economy or something, I just bring diamonds. I get 5 or 6 £10 Starbucks vouchers, and I just give them to the flight crew on the way on, and I go, "You guys work so hard. I just want to say how grateful we are.
Starbucks,
We've just got you, just so you can have a coffee on a stopover next time you're stopping over." And they either get an upgrade, or they might not get an upgrade, but they do get treated like royalty.
Oh my goodness.
I love
that's
that you've got a plan in
extraordinary.
place.
But
Because you know you'll be a bitch. You know what I mean? On a plane.
You're preempting it.
Yeah. Me being a fucking nightmare.
Here's a £6 voucher. It has to be used.
Here's a B&M voucher.
I'm use in England. Sorry.
You can only use it in the place you're leaving, and it has to be used by the end of tomorrow.
Here's 10%
Anyway,
off tickets to my next show.
Okay.
So
Well-
I think that's probably what I'll be punished
Yeah.
for eternity for, is that, and then feeling bad afterwards and like, oh god. But I thought I was doing the noble thing in a way, but I just can't bear
No,
it.
I think it's needed. I don't think that's it's obviously an assertive quality, and it carries overtones of bitch, but it is also like you are. I think we all need that. We need some
for the
like.
people.
Well, two things were bad though as well, because as I was speaking, I'd never shout, but I was speaking quite
You
strongly.
were screaming.
I was screaming. I think this is very bad that you're treating everyone like this. But of course, everybody else was then running behind me to get into the queue to go through the metal detectors, and I was like losing my place. So I was like, well, I think this is really bad, actually. So I don't know why you're standing there not helping people. And as I was like, well, and I don't know why you're not, and I think you should really help people. Anyway, think about yourselves. And then, of course, then it's like the roped-off barrier that you have to walk around. But of course, it repeats back. So like
zigzagging around like.
and also you're still stood there. I see.
Another thing, Miriam.
I always do with my boyfriend if I've had a go at him and I need to diffuse. It's pretend to hitch my hand back up from my shoulder.
That's neat. Oh, that's neat. Yes.
I have to give something to you. I am now quite drunk.
Do you know?
Oh.
I'm like a
Thank
little
you.
tipsy.
Can I say you've given me a smaller goblet here?
We ordered a red one because we thought it'd be more fabulous for the guests to have a hellish red, and it has arrived smaller.
It's fine.
It
makes my hands look bigger.
I think it's a more. I think it's a more
Did you know
desirable
which one had the
size.
laxative in it, Tom?
Oh,
You think of all your needs. Speaking of which, what's the worst thing you've ever done that you're willing to own up to on this podcast, or as we like to call it, tip tap puta?
Why do you call it that?
Because
Just the
it's
initials of
letters.
each. It's something we're workshopping as a format point.
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
When I was in the school choir, in I believe it was year 9, we did at Easter Andrew Lloyd Webber's Requiem. Classic.
Nice school.
Nice choice. Nice score. Did you say nice score?
Yeah, school.
Nice school. Nice school. Andrew Lloyd Webber's Requiem. I was not doing the Pai Jesu. Our music teacher was singing that.
I love
the
that.
Charlotte Church Pai Jesu. And we were given a copy of it, and everyone had to label it. And then I picked up the wrong one by mistake, and I ended up with 2. But I was a bit shy. And then the following week they said, "Oh, Michael has lost his copy of the score. Does anyone have it?" And I was too embarrassed to say, "Oh, I picked it up by mistake." But it went on every week. They were like, "Has anyone seen Michael's copy?"
When this gives poor boy another copy.
Andrew Lloyd Webber's Requiem. They're like, because if it isn't handed in, Paul Michael's going to have to pay £14. Oh God! And or it was the '90s, so it's probably like £4.95 then. But
in today's money, that's a mortgage.
that's basically, yeah. You could buy an avocado for that. And I don't know, conflating those things. But so and I've always felt terrible about that. And every now and then I'll remember it, and I'll go, "Oh, I should have owned up to it." But I was very shy at everything
Do you
at
think
that
he's
point.
speaking to his therapist, being like, "My score went missing, and no one would."
No one wanted.
I never got to give my Pai Jesu.
And it was, and I knew it must have. It must have read on my face, because I wouldn't. They kept bringing it up sort of when, and I always felt like I was standing in the middle of the room whenever they said it. So I think they were aware that I put it in my.
Yeah, they're like, and has anybody?
Anybody?
Tom, did
Do
anyone?
you know anybody who might have done that? This was around about the same time that I would always, if we had PE before lunch and it was
Yeah.
swimming, I just put my trousers straight on afterwards over my trunks because I was
Slop
too,
around.
and I would just look like I'd pissed myself because I thought that was better than having to take my trunks off in front of
in
other
front of the
people.
straight boys,
In front of-
petrifying.
yeah, why? I mean,
Are you I think I'm right. You're a fellow posh-sounding person that went to a state school.
Comprehensive, hello. Very
Swanmore
comprehensive.
College of Technology.
Oh, which one? Which one, Dan?
Swanmore College of Technology.
Swanmore.
Hampshire's-
Swanless, I think they should have called it in your case, Dan.
The swimming pool at the school.
Swimming pool.
Yeah, we had a swimming pool. It gave everyone in year 7 conjunctivitis because the ducks swam in it,
Oh, wow.
filled it with shit, and they made us swim regardless.
What, it was al fresco?
It was an al fresco outdoor pool. Everybody had to swim.
You didn't grow up in London? No, I can tell that.
Wilds of
That's the
Hampshire.
difference.
Yeah.
It was a So did you travel to
duck?
a swimming?
No, we had one in the school which the PTA had paid for. Years of saving, but the thing was, it was very narrow. It wasn't very wide at all, but quite relatively long. And so you had to line up along the long end of it, and then you sort of had to swim across.
Right.
And then there was just a bar which you were expected to hoik yourself out using.
A fat shaming pool, basically.
Well, it was so awful because, you know, if you're in any way self-conscious, which I certainly was, I mean, it was awful to try and get out, and I couldn't. I'd have to
I'll just stay there. Did you just stay and chill? No.
I should have done. I wish.
I'll do maths from here.
Where do the straight kids get the upper body strength from? Because
no
they could
idea.
all like propel themselves out like
Were they all
were.
doing,
Well,
like,
'cause their arms are on the
push-ups?
floor. Not,
Because
you know,
they're-
so like-
Yes, dragging their knuckles around.
then-
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I just remember changing in secondary school and making like a sort of middle-aged mother kind
Oh,
of
that's
yeah.
nice. Yes,
Little,
an up top towel.
above the nipple towel.
Yes.
Down to the floor, changing, putting my things on.
Oh, because there's
Lady
an episode
reveals.
of Call the Midwife where Dr. Sheila Turner, Dr. Turner's wife, Sheila Turner, Nurse Turner, is she a nurse? Anyway, Mrs. Turner.
Dr. Tina Turner.
Dr. Tina Turner is there, and she's made a changing cape for her child to take to the beach, and it's like a big dress.
Oh,
which
fuck
looks kind
off, that's
And I thought that
amazing.
was a great idea. Why didn't I have one? But it would have been, even for me as a young person, would have been slightly too ostentatious.
I
for my comfort. That would
imagine
have invoked more
changing
aggression, I
cape.
think.
What are those Victorian
changing cape?
like palanquin things that they used to carry down to the sea?
Oh, those like
Remember?
you,
Yeah.
Mrs. Brown.
So the
in
ladies
that
could then
picture.
like open the window.
Yeah.
and in a red and white striped.
That's how I imagine you bathe, just
Yes.
but in your house.
No. I'm a never nude, and even shower.
How
like
you were
that.
born into the world.
Yes, exactly, with a photo on. So yes, it was unbearable. But I don't know, and also that's how I got to know my scales, my piano scales, because I would recite them in my head to avoid getting overexcited whilst looking at the other.
Oh my gosh! I just had to change in a corner and not look at all the rugby boys.
Not with the changing, just in the swimming pool. That was even in the swimming pool.
Oh, okay.
But the changing was much more of a frantic, quick.
Oh, yeah.
But you you just had to not look at the.
I just stayed in a corner.
Just did-
So that I won't turn around and look at name redacted. Tom,
Yes.
it's the 21st century. We consider the 7 deadly sins to be hugely outdated. Now that the gays have gentrified hell, we have a little Waitrose, we have a Pret. We're giving the 7 deadly sins a makeover. We talked about pride earlier. I think it's a good thing to have a little bit of pride.
Comes before a fall, though, doesn't it? And that's what I'm going to start.
And who doesn't love
a fall pride?
Who doesn't love fall?
Who doesn't love the fall?
So let's go to Connecticut and let's just enjoy that. What new sin for the 21st century would you like to add to the list?
I can't remember exactly all. I know that sloth and envy are amongst
Sloth
us.
and envy,
And
lust,
lust,
gluttony.
gluttony, of course. A gluttonous attitude towards lust is the worst.
Sorry, everybody, I'm scoffing on.
I would say my 8th deadly sin is putting your feet up on the opposite seat on a public piece.
Yes.
We all do it.
I don't.
Stop
do
it.
Do you do that? You put your feet up?
I put a metro there to shield my foot.
That I can.
Okay.
That's acceptable. I think as well within it is a sense of disregard for other people. If you're not putting a metro or something similar down to rest your foot on, that's considering the situation.
Yeah.
People who just, put their shoes. I just think it's
Yeah.
so rude.
Yeah.
I'm finding a video to show you, Tom, which is one of my favourite videos on the
Is it
internet.
me with my shoes up on.
It's you. Your shoes. No, it is. It is. Please press play on this and enjoy it. This is a woman.
I have seen one before.
This is a woman with her shoes off on the train. She's reading her book. She's in her own world.
Is this in the UK?
Yeah, I believe so. She's picking.
Oh my!
She's picking her feet,
Oh my god, I know this video. You sent it to me.
Oh, she's putting it in her mouth.
Oh.
She's like twisting.
Oh God.
I think she's in her own world. She doesn't even know what's happening.
Oh my god.
In your what is this own world? Where
This
you...
is this is clearly what she does at home. She doesn't realise she's doing this in public.
Yeah.
She is scraping dead
You'll
skin
never
off
get
her
that
foot,
out of your head now.
That's
reading
one of the
home,
worst things I've ever seen.
and just stuffing.
And I saw cat.
Isn't it ghastly?
Dan, that's horrible.
Isn't it
Metro.co.uk.
I think anything foot related that happens on a train is unforgivable.
Absolutely.
I completely agree
But
with you.
I just think it's again a sense of, and I realise I know I'm a bit Edwardian, but I just think we should all just be a bit more considerate of other people. And I think being inconsiderate of other people, I think, is one of the things that I do think is a terrible sin. Like, I do think it's a terrible
I agree.
quality.
I think people shouldn't have feet. If we all had a nice hoof.
That's because you watched The Little Mermaid.
Yes. If we just had to visit a farrier once every 2 to 6 months.
It's crazy they don't have that awareness though. I'm so aware on the train. Like,
Yes.
I would need to look beautiful for the public, you know, like
Of course.
Yes, obviously.
I think it's Tom Ford who says dressing up nicely is a show of respect to the people around you. And I sort of think that's true, isn't it?
I
I mean,
completely agree.
just neatly, I suppose. But also I think, because did you grow up in London?
Yeah.
You did,
Harrow.
didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're Harrow, so you're similar to me, like outskirts, commuter towns.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Zone 5, Harrow?
Middlesex. Yeah, zone 5, yeah.
Zone 5, yeah. Could be a Shire county, could be
Doesn't know what
Greater
it
London.
is,
Doesn't
yeah.
know what it is. I love that. But public transport there, people are often quite dour, quite quite sort of look quite serious.
Yeah, they do,
But I
yeah.
think it's just their way, I've realised, of sort of making themselves invisible a bit. You know, I'm in my little space here, and you're in your space. I don't want to be a big presence here because then you have to, you have to be aware of me. If I'm very quiet and make myself small, then you can.
But also, I don't want to do anything that welcomes chat.
Yes, I don't want to. Yes,
Oh,
I don't want to have a
please.
conversation. I don't want to. I just want this moment to myself when we're all travelling together. So I do think there is something about that I think is quite underrated. That sort of just being mindful.
Gosh, our journey home's going to be lovely but silent, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, I can't wait for it.
When Tom invites us to drive with
you
his it's a
must.
new mad driver. Tom, each week on this podcast, we invite our listeners to write in with their confessions and grievances, and then we judge them. And we would love to invite you to adjudicate with us this week.
I would love to do that. Of course, they didn't need to write in for me to judge them.
No, of course you're judging. We think you're
don't-
trash. All right, Dane, do you want to be mother?
I'll start with mine with a little sip out of me cocktail.
I mean, I say this as well. Do you want to be mother? But it doesn't. What does it actually mean? It just means taking control of it. I'm thinking of it's like handing out the cake or something.
You pour the tea.
Pouring the tea.
Would you like to be slightly too clingy and turn me gay?
I would. I'd like all of those things. Dear Daniel and Dane, they've once again got the order wrong there.
Order precisely right now.
In the 90s, when working in an office where I hated my colleagues, I noticed that the kettle had a cockroach in it. I didn't tell anyone or remove it.
Oh my goodness.
I did stop drinking hot drinks and watch my colleagues drink their tea made from cockroachy water for another 5 weeks before someone else noticed. Am I the demon?
Gosh, how did they fill up the kettle? Maybe it was an urn. Was it a tea urn? Were they working in the women's
sort of
institute?
samovar.
Sometimes though, they have those kettles that, like, in local councils, like the Valley of the Lost, no one's ever opened.
I can identify with this because I fill up the kettle from the spout.
Through the spout.
Oh, you're one of them.
you're a spout entry.
I'm a spout entry, famously I'm a spout entry.
I thought
And
I knew that.
in my old flat, pigeons used to enter through the window whenever they like.
Sorry, show me the pigeons.
Used to come on in through the window, which I didn't
dancer.
love, but they would only sort of circle on the windowsill and then leave.
Yeah.
But one day, I opened the kettle fully to sort of do a de-lime scaling, and there were 3 feathers in the kettle, and I was like, I've been drinking feather soup.
But
Maybe-
sometime, sorry,
I was going to say, sometimes a feather is a relative.
a relative
This
come
is the
back.
Irish coming out in you now.
That will be 3 dead relatives coming to be
I love
boiled
that's
alive for you. Please boil us.
So I can...
Which was how 3 of your relatives did die.
That's
that
how
way,
they
didn't
passed, very sadly.
What are the chances, Dane? You see, there you go. There you go.
I think...
Also, I was going to mention acupuncture there because I recently went for acupuncture for the first time,
Did it...
and the man said, "Your water, your water."
Oh,
was
because I'm fire.
Ah, that's interesting, Dan. Do you know what you are?
Oh, you've
No
been had yours
idea.
done. Oh my god, I'm so
How
feel so
embarrassing.
And all he kept saying was like, "Your water, your water." I said, "That's
You'd be
very
stone, I think.
Or some sort of gas.
There's nothing there.
well." Where's he gone? Sorry, Dan, I interrupted you there.
No, I'm fascinated by the water thing. How do you,
water.
do you
When
feel
you're from Zone
water?
5, Daniel, these are the kind of
things you do. Actually, it was an acupuncturist in Hampshire.
Was it? Where in Hampshire?
Hook.
I'm so sorry. I think this person I mean, obviously there's something quite hideous about doing that to everybody. But if you hate them, I'm assuming they have good reasons for hating them.
Yes, you must hope.
And therefore, I think, good for you. Bit of vengeance. I'm not above
Yeah.
revenge.
Also, I think like in an office, sometimes you have that shit about where's your £2 a month milk money and all of that.
Yes, are they
bullshit.
like? Yes, I wonder what sort of people they were. They must have
Yeah.
been pretty awful, I think, to want to punish
I
them in
think
any
so.
way.
Yeah.
Because people in glass houses
Yeah.
shouldn't throw
Yeah,
stones, should they? So we have to assume this writer is in fact perfect themselves.
Yeah, if this is a perfect person, then I'm okay with them serving cockroach soup. Also, I'm assuming this person is American to have a cockroach. Do we have cockroaches here?
We do, but they're smaller.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then it could be a Brit. But if it's American,
I think
then
would Americans
quite
have
glamorous to have
kettles?
a
Americans
kettle,
don't
is
have
what I was
kettles.
gonna say.
No, they
Have
don't
kettles,
really.
do they?
Not
But I
those
mean,
kinda-
maybe they did in this office.
No, I
Maybe
think
it's sort of
this
a
is England.
non-profit and they have
Maybe
herbal
it's-
tea.
Maybe they worked at NPR.
We have smaller. Yeah, they're smaller here, but yeah.
I was in New York,
Oh,
a few months ago, and
Why were you there? Sorry.
I was just doing my show in New York. And when I arrived, I was just doing my sold-out show in New York.
Sold out.
When I
Kettle show.
arrived, a centipede crawled out in my room, and it was, I kid you not, thicker than my thumb.
Wow.
Their cockroaches in New York are like, not
Centipede
cockroaches,
or
they're centipedes. They are like thumb thickness.
How long?
Gosh, we have small little thumbs.
Thank you very much.
I didn't mean it as a compliment.
Okay, well, let's move on. I think this person, yes, the demon, but possibly not in a contextual.
Do you know what? I wouldn't accept. I would look in a kettle myself wherever I drink. I'd look in a kettle before drinking. So
Yes, I would lift the lid.
yeah,
I would lift the
I
lid.
would too,
Lift
Tom.
the fucking lid.
Yeah, well, lift the lid, co-workers.
Lift the lid.
colleagues.
Find out if you're fire, water, or
Colleagues.
stone.
Yeah,
Yeah, are you fire, water, stone, or the other one?
the other one.
Did they say co-workers or colleagues?
Colleagues, they
Colleagues.
said.
I think they're Brits. But
Yes.
I don't know. It's difficult to know. It's not difficult to know. But that's
Think of, enjoy your drink anyway, Tom. It.
Is anyone else a bit drunk off this?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm giddly.
you have to remember that my baseline is probably a bit higher than you.
Have you returned to level?
Yeah, anything. I'd suddenly feel alive for the first time
I am.
today.
There's definitely something. Like I believe there's alcohol in it now. Okay, I'm going to read a letter. Dear Daniel and Dane, I was seeing a man for about 3 months.
Who was the man? Where was it? Was he at the end of your bed? What was he
I was seeing him
Yeah,
when I was in
seeing this man.
Waitrose. He
I
was
can see
thrifty.
always there.
Things were going reasonably well. We had quite a lot in common, went on good dates, and he came over mine a couple of times for some
Did he
decent.
indeed?
Want to be so lucky. For some decent, if a little drunken sex. However, on date 9, it's quite far, red flags started to appear. He invited me over to his flat, and I immediately noticed that above his bed was a portrait of himself, photoshopped to look like Winston Churchill.
Wow.
Even worse, during sex, our first time doing it sober, I noticed that he kept licking his lips in what he thought was a sexy way, but reminded me of a middle-aged woman enjoying a yogurt.
We've all been there.
Finally, after I'd faked an orgasm, he proceeded to come on my very expensive brocade throw.
Hang on, this was at his house.
His house.
This writer takes their own brocade throw.
Oh, yeah.
To their... Okay.
This is you, Tom.
It sounds. You travel with your own brocade. Okay, I'll
they
come
meant-
to yours, but I will be bringing my brocade.
Maybe they meant like a
What
jacket.
is a brocade throw, actually?
Brocade is that sort of
like candlewick.
dimpled fabric, isn't it?
Oh, that's
Oh.
brocade.
You know that sort of like...
Not boucle.
No, I think it's like what in
Dame Bouclé.
Shakespearean. You know when Shakespearean men have those jackets.
Oh, like a sort of
Oh.
military kind of thing, is
Well,
it?
I think yeah, with a sort of dimpling,
I can't
velvety
feel it.
kind of.
Oh, okay.
I think I could be completely wrong. Right in, do call in if you know what brocade is. Well, maybe it's a coat. Maybe they've not.
Anyway, it's a
Anyway,
throw,
I
a
ghosted
brocade.
him for 3 days and then dumped him by text. Am I the demon?
I think there's a lot to talk about.
The Winston Churchill portrait is giving me incel.
Right.
Above the bed as well.
Above the bed.
I can understand like a sort of
Fight them on the
joke
beach.
Yeah.
in a downstairs toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. In the
Like
It's something quite
like a caricature. Like
And also, like maybe Henry VIII or something, or Winston Churchill.
Also, a middle-aged woman enjoying a yogurt is this.
oh, don't.
Oh, that's not your
It's not
pleasure
my-
face, is it?
Which is my pleasure face is this. For the listener, I just did nothing. She faked an orgasm. He came on
He
something. He cummed on something expensive.
Which we know is a Reciprocate throw, yeah.
which we know to be the throw that this person brought to their lover's flat. And then, well, I guess the ghosting and the dumping, it's gone bad.
Yeah.
The sex was bad.
Yeah.
They went into it. They went into it.
They went into it. But they are 9 dates in and they've ghosted, which I think is for debate.
I think you're right. I think that's a point where, I don't know.
I think the breakup is fine.
Yeah.
Fine to be like, oh, that I'm turned off by you now. Ick.
We're not compatible.
The ghosting, I've been ghosted. Nothing, a short, sharp dumping, you get over in a few days or years. A ghosting drives me doolally.
But
I was going to go on. I think you're going to say what I was thinking.
I have gifted some of my fans on Grindr that I do work with. I do outreach work with them. And I
Is
have
that what you call your dating life?
yeah.
Outreach. His day centre, yeah.
I've been like, look, I've tried like I'm not feeling this or it's not really worked out for me. And there's a to and fro, but why not? But this, but this, but this, but this, but this. And then I'm like, well, now I think I know why people ghost. You know,
Well,
in a way.
I think there is something. I don't think it's always bad to be ghosted because somebody saying like, "Oh, I just see us as friends" or something.
Yeah.
It's obviously a lie.
Yeah.
I don't want any more friends, and so the idea of that, I think somebody saying, "I just don't like you. I don't find you attractive," is essentially what it is. I think it's quite painful. I've found in my many experiences of it. So I think
there is an honesty, a pure honesty in the ghosting.
In the ghosting, you're just like actually. They're not. They haven't got involved. They're not around. Okay, they're not around. Okay, that's
But your
fine.
head does crazy things where you go, they've not received my text.
Yeah,
and you get friends to send you texts.
If you really like them, then yes.
Yeah. I am a master breakupper to the point that I have written at least 20 breakup texts for friends. And breakup
Who didn't want to break up with them?
Who did not want to, but I forced them
suggested
apart. And
Grab that phone.
What you do is say many compliments. So you would be like, for whatever reason, and really annoying. But
Sorry, I thought you said literally many compliments in a sort of...
You would say many compliments, however...
very sort of
No.
florid kind of diplomatic language.
Very formal.
Present many compliments to you.
Dear sir or madam. No, I would go, you are... It's like really annoying for whatever reason. It just, for me, feels like there's not a spark there. But objectively, you are very sexy. And I've had a lovely...
Objectively, you are very sexy.
No, whatever.
Objectively, you are very... It sounds like an
Objectively,
AI.
you are very sexy.
Objectively, you are sexy.
I would say compliment their appearance, compliment the times you've had together. For whatever reason, there's just not a spark.
Yeah.
But then
though,
they know when it's over.
They've always got the message. It's just our insecurity, like, but maybe their phone signal didn't work. Honey, they've got your message.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, I'm anti-ghost because it's driven me mad. However, if they've come on something velvet, they're gone. Fuck them.
Okay.
You do whatever you like to them.
Fuck it.
Do you think... I mean, that's... I'm going back to my previous thing about disposing of a body. I want to know how they got the stain out. Because...
Well, it's got to be salt and cold water, doesn't it?
Is it? Bicarbonate soda?
Maybe.
We don't know. That's the letter I really
Who
want
amongst
to
these
use.
three gay men could possibly say?
Or do you just brush it out when it's dry?
That's the name of your next autobiography, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brush it out when it's dry.
Try.
Last but not least, Tom, before we process you into the Inferno proper, a name I used to dance under, we do ask new
So
arrivals...
that's in Clapham, isn't it?
It is. We do ask new arrivals to answer a quick-fire Hellfire eligibility survey. First answers only.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Of course.
It's multiple choice. So.
Oh,
Maximalist or minimalist?
minimalist.
Espresso or Frappuccino?
Espresso.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
Maggie Smith or Meryl Streep?
Maggie Smith.
Costa or Pratt?
Starter or main?
Starter.
Stylish or comfortable?
Stylish.
Friends or Will and Grace?
Will and Grace.
Jamie or Nigella?
Jamie.
Daniel or Dane?
I can't answer.
You only hired one of them, I think.
I can't
His
answer
eyes,
that.
his mouth said I can't answer that, but his eyes said Daniel. Forgiveness or revenge?
Forgiveness.
Fiction or autobiography?
They're both the same.
Would you punch a child for £1 million?
Yes.
Excellent.
I would have answered every single one of those the same, apart from, I would say, revenge. Tom, welcome to hell. You are through the fiery gates.
Thank you so much.
Here are your keys to your maisonette on Joan Crawford Street.
Oh, I love it there.
And that is the end of the episode. Tom is currently on tour across the UK with his show Completely, with dates running until the 8th of June. You can find tickets on his website at tomindeed.com.
Many thank you.
If you like this, be sure to check back for... I'm so drunk. If you liked this, be sure to check back for new episodes every Thursday. And if you want to earn yourself a VIP place in hell, why not subscribe to our Patreon? You'll get extended guest episodes, for example, find out how Tom Allen would dispose of a body, and extra bonus episodes every month with prices starting at just 75 pence per week. What is a pence, Dane?
The little metal things you love to throw at children, hun.
That's right,
Yeah.
that's correct.
But what we'd love more than anything is for you to spread the word, get those forked tongues flicking, tell your friends about our podcast, spread the word, leave a little review. We invite you to leave up to a 5-star review. If you leave anything less than that, Dan will age again.
I will age at a rate of knots. And as always, if you want to submit any confessions or grievances for our infernal judgment, you can write to us at judgment@hellpod.com, send us a message on socials @thehellpod, or use the anonymous form on our website, hellpod.com.
Thank you as always to Spotify, the gorgeous people here, for allowing these gorgeous studios, and also to the angels who made our beautiful theme song and our jingle, Auburn Jam.
See you next week.
Bye. Say goodbye, Thomas.
Oh, well, so bye.